and providing something for everyone. We recognize how you consume media is no longer one size fits all, and we're creating custom content for your needs. It's round the clock, shareable, and of course, interactive, because your voice is an important part of the community conversation. So how do you KUAM? The possibilities are limitless.
This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express. KUAM TV 8, your home for the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Also brought to you by Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And steaks, ribs, seafood, and our famous Fresh Garden Bar. Ruby Tuesday. Good times you can taste.
Coming up on Guam's News Network, trial for the brothers in the machete attack continues. Adriana Cotero has the very latest from Superior Court. Plus, as one senator puts it, it's like taking from Peter to pay Paul. We've got details from today's legislative session. And former Congressman Dr. Robert Underwood talks Chamorro self-determination during a presentation at UOG.
Hafide and good evening, everyone. They've reached the halfway point in the high-profile trial of two brothers accused in the machete attacks on passing motorists in Mangilao. The government has called its final witnesses, and Judge Vernon Perez ruled on a defense motion for acquittal. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
The government has rested its case.
After Assistant Attorney General Sean Brown called up his final witness today to the stand, the lead investigator for the Mangilao machete attack case, Albert Manley, with the AG's office. During cross-examination, the defense counsel heavily questioned the surveillance video that was recorded from right here outside of the New Best store, asking the lead investigator, Manley, why the full-length video was never retrieved.
You had stated that the video was short.
It wasn't, according to Mr. Song, it wasn't the entire video.
Because GPD couldn't go down and collect it, and he had to email the video to them, right?
That's what he said.
The video was cut down to 5 minutes, and investigator Manley received it from GPD about 7 weeks ago. The footage showed the family throwing fists in the store parking lot. This altercation between the defendant, Emmanuel Resalap, and his first cousin, the victim, Urson Resalap, resulted in Urson bleeding out from his side after being cut by a machete. Then the machete is picked up by co-defendant Jordan Rachulap, and the chaos floods into the streets of University Drive. Rocks are thrown at cars, and the machete is used to strike vehicles and motorists. But Emmanuel's attorney, Samuel Tecker, argues this is not clearly seen in the footage.
But no one really made much effort in order to get that video, right? I mean, GPD...
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Okay, so what are we thinking today?
I just need a trim.
Okay, well, luckily you are in great hands. Perfect.
The $1 stylist deal.
Is that it?
That's it.
Or you could get a real deal McDonald's buy one get one for $1 deal is here. Buy one of your faves and choose another for just an extra buck. Choose from the Big Mac, filet of fish, quarter pounder with cheese, and 10-piece chicken McNuggets, but only for a limited time.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. A Jigo hotspot for walkers, runners, and health enthusiasts will soon be off limits to locals thanks to the military buildup. Jigo Mayor Rudy Matanani confirms the area next to the Jigo fire station will eventually be closed off to allow for construction of a training facility for Marines being relocated to Guam. Mayor Matanani tells KUAM the military says access to the area would be closed off on September 16 for a couple of weeks before being closed off to locals for good when construction on the project is completed. Matanani says he is working on alternatives, including upgrading a basketball court and walking path in the Gura 506 area. He says a plan to build a 1-mile run-walk path and a football field on Gov Guam land across Anderson Air Force Base is in the early stages of development. The Port Authority Board approved a proposed budget yesterday for fiscal year 2020 based on revenue projections of $49.1 million and expenditures of $48.5 million. The FY20 spending plan shows an increase of $2.1 million in salaries and benefits from the last fiscal year. Budget documents state that the increase is due to funding of vacant positions needed for port operations, salary and benefit increments of full-time employees, and safety and security. Roughly $900,000 was also budgeted as potential back pay in the event former port workers win their Civil Service Commission cases challenging their terminations. The Port Board also unanimously approved adopting Labor Day as a no-vessel holiday. It joins Christmas and New Year's as the only days that the port shuts down operations. University professor Dr. Ron McNinch says there are ways to fix our political status without Chamorro self-determination. In a speech before a UOG class a day before Dr. Underwood gave his political status speech, McNinch described the Organic Act as a fluid document that can also be a de facto constitution.
Congress for an amendment clause on the Organic Act to amend through an amendment process things that we don't like and to fix it at the local level. That's a very simple intermediate solution.
While McNinch called the Organic Act an in effect constitution, he also said without a constitution, Guam is seen as politically immature.
If we don't have a constitution, we're viewed as a political teenager. That's the reality. You don't have a constitution, you don't show you can actually operate independently your own internal government, you're a political teenager. It's like we're a 62-year-old political teenager to the United States. That's the reality. I know that sounds, it's not that, hey, I'd love to live at 62 with my parents, okay? Oh, maybe not.
McNinch further said that territories eventually become states, citing 37 former territories like Kentucky and Tennessee that became states. And as we mentioned, a day later, Dr. Robert Underwood spoke on Chamorro self-determination, packing over 100 years of history into an hour-long speech. Chris Barnett has more.
In the wake of the Ninth Circuit Court's ruling against Chamorro self-determination and in favor of Dave Davis, former Congressman Dr. Robert Underwood is leading the charge, organizing a march for self-determination on Labor Day and a presentation on self-determination last night at the University of Guam. Underwood going back to the beginning and articulating how the United States knew full well what it was getting into when the Treaty of Paris ceded Guam from Spain to America in 1898.
The obligation that was taken was that the civil and political rights of the native inhabitants will be determined by Congress, will be determined by the United States. So that meant that the United States took Guam, but understood that it had an obligation to the civil and political rights of those native inhabitants.
It was standing room only at UOG's class lecture hall as Underwood at one point talked about how the Organic Act was amended to include the 15th Amendment of the Constitution in 1969, 20 years after it was signed. In the Davis victory, the court said a native inhabitant plebiscite violated Davis's 15th Amendment rights. Underwood, using several examples of the federal government's inconsistency, including an Organic Act clause that gave hiring preference to native Chamorros. He said these examples show Congress has had no problem giving preference to one group of people over another in the territories. He also argued that Guam seeing improvements like elective government and inclusion in federal programs should not be a trade-off for decolonization.
Sometimes people think that incremental political progress is a substitute for self-determination, and I maintain it is not.
Underwood also saying Congress pushing Guam to write its own constitution was the equivalent of a political status straitjacket. Within a month of the Constitution being defeated by a 5-1 margin in 1979, the Commission on Self-Determination was created by the legislature. Underwood also spoke about how United Nations observers for the constitutional vote told him about the UN's process for decolonization. Underwood, the first Chamorro to testify before the UN on Guam's quest for decolonization.
And it will continue on Marine Corps Drive on September 2nd, 2019, not to dishonor the efforts of U.S. Marines to liberate Guam from the Japanese, but to bring full meaning to the term liberation.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
In business news, GVB's third quarter report touts record-breaking arrivals in July, as well as an interesting shift in visitor behavior. Why are tourists spending less time here, yet spending more money? Julia Santos reports on the latest data trends of our island's #1 industry.
Guam set an historic record for the month of July with about 137,000 visitor arrivals, thanks to strong growth in our Japan market, showing a 19.8% increase over the previous year, while our new #1 market, Korea, continues to stabilize despite being minus 4% from last year's numbers. Currently, Japan represents 35% of all visitor arrivals and Korea at 50%. GVB's 2019 third quarter report, which is April through June, indicates an almost complete reversal in our tourist length of stay and spending habits across all markets. Director of Tourism Research Nico Fujikawa explains.
For example, Korea went from 7 days on island last year to 5 days this year. So that 2-day difference is a big significant trend that we're looking into. And part of the reason is as we dive through the numbers was we see a lot more first-timers over repeat visitors.
Fujikawa says first-time visitors usually spend more money in a shorter period of time versus the repeat tourists who choose to spend more time exploring the island while optimizing their spending power. Although Guam is seeing more first-timers, overall data shows a larger number of repeat visitors. He adds that the different markets, as well as the different demographics, vary.
For example, the Taiwanese spend over $700 per person while on island. Korea and Japan are usually around $500. But these markets are very different. It's tough to say one spends more than the other because of the types of things that they're looking for. For example, a Korean family isn't looking for the luxury spending of Japanese females who are traveling here together as friends. So
there was an increase in spending on food and beverage in all sectors, which Fujikawa says is a good thing for the island. Another plus for Guam is the recent trend among tourists to venture beyond Tumon to visit specific and unique sites around the island. He attributes this to GVB's #InstaGuam campaign and the tens of thousands of social media pages and profiles showing images of what Guam has to offer outside of our tourist district. For Guam's News Network, I'm Julia Santos.
They're the folks that keep a close eye on the money. Hundreds of auditing professionals are attending the annual conference this week of the Association of Pacific Island Public Auditors, or APIPA. The event is hosted by Guam's Office of Public Accountability. Public Auditor Benjamin Cruz explains.
This year is the 30th anniversary of APIPA, and we have over 450 conferees that are here all week. They'll be getting 80 hours of continuing professional education in 4 tracks: audit supervisory, finance, and advanced finance and management.
There are 12 member countries and several affiliate members that make up APIPA. The instructors for the conference are paid for by a grant from the Department of Interior. The 100th anniversary of women's voting rights will be celebrated Thursday. The event commemorates the passing of the 19th Amendment in 1919. The Bureau of Women's Affairs will hold an ice cream social in partnership with the University of Guam's Women and Gender Studies program and the Guam Election Commission at UOG's Humanities and Social Sciences Atrium. The GEC will be on hand to register voters, both women and men, from noon to 4 p.m. Governor Lulian Guerrero, Guam's first woman governor, will be there to sign a proclamation, and Senator Amanda Shelton will also present a resolution. Triple J Wholesalers is providing the ice cream for the event. Dave Delgado is next with your recap of sports. Keep it right here on KUAM.
Agent Alpha. What's that? An Alpha Insurance customer needs a claim settled immediately? I'm on it. Agent Alpha.
In the event of an accident, theft, or breakdown, each of our Alpha Insure agents are trained to go above and beyond.
This is my stop. There she is. Target acquired. Agent Alpha.
Yes!
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're going to be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're going to be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. In studio, event organizer Tony Borja talking about Submit 6 going down next Friday at Dusitani. How many fights are we looking at for the card?
Oh, man. So this is our 6th show. This is going to be our biggest show yet. We have 15 total fights, the most fights ever in Submit.
And one of the fights that we're really looking forward to is the combatives matchup.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that matchup.
Yeah, man. You know, a big shout out to the Guam Army National Guard that's coming on as a sponsor for this show. But even if they weren't coming on as a sponsor, we want to show some love to, you know, the soldiers from Guam. You know what I mean? So. We got a big matchup, Kenji Okiyama versus Scotty Eclavea. They're both captains in the Army combatives. So which is pretty cool is these guys actually competed in a previous Submit as brown belts. And now they've both been promoted to black belts. So this will be a special combatives match. They'll be in their, their Army gear, their fatigues, but there'll be no striking. But yeah, man, it's a big match, and we're excited to have that.
And a fight that's blowing up on social media. Trevor 5-Star Jones going up against Hayato.
Yep, man. Trev's coming off some, bunch of fights. He's a seasoned MMA fighter. He's always down to compete, even for Submit, and we thank him for that. And it was kind of tough to find him a match on Guam. He's been, since his last Submit, he's been promoted to black belt. But Hayato, man, he's competed in Submit before, put on a good show against Terrence Affligui, and he was the main event at that fight. And he was more than willing to take this matchup with Trev, man. So Hayato's, he's been wanting to get back on the card and get back and compete for Submit. And once we offered Trev to him, he was game for it. So we're happy about that, man. That's a good match. It's a good match.
Speaking about the main event fights are a real good one for fans to look forward to.
Yeah, so that's cool, man. So we got Bryant Pangilinan out of Sabre Jiu-Jitsu, Northern California. He's flying out here to do this. Bryant actually competed in our first show off island in Dubai. He's going up against purebreds Javier Morales. So Javi's competed in Submit about two times already. So he has 1 win and 1 draw. But since then he's been promoted to black belt. So this is actually a big match for Javi, man, because Brian is a world champion. He's gold medalist at all these events all over the states and all over the world. So this is a big match for Javi, man, and can catapult him to the next level. Yeah,
especially for his jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah.
Let's talk about tickets and how can people get tickets.
Yeah, so our ringside tickets are completely sold out. We have standard VIP seats available. Still, a few available over at Coffee Slut in Agana. They're $50 each. Yeah, man, just go down to Coffee Slut and yeah.
Make sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook at Submit International. Real quick, sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, Cauliflower Culture, our presenters, Cauliflower Culture, the stations at KUAM and Guam Visitors Bureau. Big shout out to our gold sponsors, JMC Equipment, Japan Bus Lines, and SC Corp. And then everyone else, man, all our other sponsors, thank you so much for helping us put the show on.
And props to all the fighters. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
For a limited time, receive a free $500 Kmart gift certificate on selected new vehicles from Triple J Auto Group. Top of the class deals like the 2019 Mazda CX-3 for as low as $19,995, Ford F-150 starting at $229 per paycheck, or the 2019 Honda CR-V at only $205 per paycheck. Purchase your next vehicle online at triplejguam.com. Trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Stop by today and with Triple J Auto Group, customers first. The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
Off day, my name is Jonathan Jose, and I am the co-owner of Opaque. Opaque is a local clothing streetwear brand inspired by our culture and our lifestyle. Our main mission is to be who we are, and it's more of like, this is our culture, take it or leave it, because this is who we are. We're not going to try to pretend to be anyone else. The Hafude Pledge is like the essence of Guam culture. The people of Guam are just naturally hospitable, so it's just more of like a reminder, reinforcement, to the youth of Guam. It's like, this is who we are. Don't forget your roots. We're a giving people and a welcoming people. Having that local pride is definitely a Guam thing. I mean, in a world of 7 billion, we're pretty unique. To share that with the world is even more special, to be able to share your experiences and share your pride with the rest of the world.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
All right, everybody, we've got an 8-pack of birthday recipients tonight, led off by John Roberto. Happy birthday, John, from the Rubber Toes. Very, very clever. Linda Fison has a birthday today, and happy birthday to you, Linda. Love your girls and family. Happy birthday number 18 to Lakeisha Duenas from your family. It is also a happy birthday number 30 to Delora Leon Guerrero. Wishing you many birthdays to come. We love you, always pray for everyone, and love us always. Happy birthday to you. Ron Petrus gets birthday love from his family, specifically from kids and everyone. Happy birthday, Dad, they say. Josiah Xavier has a birthday today, and happy birthday number 2, Zay. Your entire family is sending their love. It is also John Roy Ungakter's birthday, to a happy birthday to our son and grandson from your loving family. And Junior Boy Mendiola blows out the candles today. Happy birthday to you, Junior Boy, and happy belated birthday to AJ from the whole entire family with much love.
And remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. And please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. And that'll do it for us here on the news desk. But stay tuned. Jace is up next with Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.
Off day, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in or streaming KUAM News Extra. I'm Jason Salas, and joining me on the KUAM couch right off the top of the show, we have two outstanding real estate professionals. You have, of course, Bobby Sachdev, a very good friend of ours, the president of the Guam Association of Realtors. Bob, very good to see you, man.
Thank you, Jason.
As always. Okay, I tell him this every single time. Thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over for having those wonderful bus stops installed down in Tucson.
You're welcome.
Those things are amazing.
That's what's good for Guam is good for all of us.
You have earned your place in heaven by doing that. So I'll back you on that one.
Thank you.
And joining us by way of the Bay Area, Don Fott.
Right.
Let's see. Your resume is a mile long and everything like that, but you are going to be the guest speaker at the next GAR event.
I will be. Yeah, tomorrow.
Certainly to pass along knowledge, pass along experience and wisdom. But what in your time on Guam so far have you been able to glean about the real estate market here and the profession of being a realtor?
Well, first off, very gracious people. I love being here. This has been a really great opportunity. But as far as the market goes, love the area. Your market, Bobby has kept me informed, about 40% increase in your property values, which is really good for all of us.
Mm-hmm. It is a very rich place. Also, because of Bobby and his colleagues do a very good job at actually making sure that the industry, there are a litany of job opportunities for people looking to get into the business, basically to make people happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thematically, what will you be touching on when you address fellow realtors?
So tomorrow, primarily, we'll be talking about doing an update for the National Association of Realtors. We have some litigation that we're going to be talking about in a trust suit. I'm going to be touching on an update. We'll be talking about market trends, what's going on affecting the entire nation, 54 territories and states, and it's just, gosh. What else am I going to talk about? Lots of stuff.
Well, it's interesting. I'd like both of your gentlemen's opinion on this because I've heard before that the real estate concerns of the San Francisco Bay Area and Guam kind of parallel each other. We don't have these millennials moving in and occupying these what were before maybe like a studio apartment, and they happen to work at Twitter and now they pay $5,400 a month.
Right.
But Bobby, what are your thoughts on the richness of the Guam market, the opportunity to develop property and, the way that we can commercialize that property?
Well, on Guam itself and most of the nation, it's always with the real estate market and any market in general, but it's supply versus demand. We do have a lush amount of property here on Guam, but we do not necessarily have all the infrastructure ready to go in all these places. And until that happens, we're going to be constantly fighting that supply versus demand. And obviously, you can tell with this buildup happening and the people moving out here, contractors coming in, and in some cases, the lack of job opportunities in the States are educated college folks that are coming back. So they're having a hard time to kind of make do out there. So they're coming back out here and bringing their expertise, their knowledge, their know-hows, and what they want and what they like. So there's a litany of jobs opportunity out there, not just as a realtor, but as people that are associated within this industry, and there's tons of stuff to do, and it's all good.
All those opportunities, maybe for every opportunity you have being a real estate professional on Guam, there's an equal number of challenges.
I think there's 3 or 4.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 challenges. Living on Guam, we have to be versatile. We get hit with typhoons, with taxes, with H-2B issues. I mean, we know how to handle it.
Okay, so Don, for those of us who live on Guam and who work here in various industries, Guam is literally the center of the universe. I mean, we love it here. We want to make sure it's the best it can be. So from your perspective, from the National Association of Realtors, you're bringing down like a wider perspective, I would dare say.
Yeah, so kind of showing the comparison of what's going on here in Guam as well as what's going on in the mainland. We have housing affordability issues, low inventory, which leads to affordability issues, and so it's nationwide. Regulations, taxation, it's all affecting.
I'm a big tech guy. I believe in the effects, the dangers of technology too. I mean, it's what keeps me motivated to work in this industry. But I would say, in real estate, there's always been this big influx of technology. Now you can get 360-degree virtual reality tours of a property. You don't even have to be there.
Right.
You can buy a piece of property months before you even show up. how do we make sure that realtors, the actual humans, are still a worthwhile commodity?
Great
question. And I can't just buy, get my bank loan, preview my property, and actually secure all the paperwork and everything like that from a robot.
Well, so real estate, the whole transaction is actually very complicated, and technology is really terrific for managing a transaction, but it's not great for actually, you need hand-holding. People are really confused, and they want to know that, they want to trust, they want a confidence that you know what you're doing to help them navigate through the complicated process. So technology is, unfortunately, is taking away the human touch, and so that's an area that we're really working on.
Okay, well, Bobby, we'll give you, Mr. President, the final word. From the Guam professional standpoint, what questions tend to bubble up that you would ask of people with experience and expertise like Don?
Well, first of all, obviously the trends of the market and stuff like that, but ultimately, what brought him to his position? Him as a leader, and he gave a great talk today about being a leader within our community and what it takes to be a volunteer. And his thoughts are by volunteering and starting your day off with gratitude every morning and meeting someone new every day. These are some of the few things that I took away from our talk this afternoon, but being a leader and giving back to the community. And us as realtors, that's what we do. We are part of the community. We're your brothers, we're your sisters, we are your friends, and ultimately we are members of this community. And that's something that Don was able to touch upon this afternoon, and hopefully he'll be able to do that tomorrow.
Well, Don, we have always been privileged and honored to be part of the GAR festivities. They've had us there. We've live streamed several of your events and everything like that. And we greatly look forward to covering you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Best of luck and enjoy your stay here. Half a day.
Thank you. Half a day.
All right, Bob. Always a pleasure, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, and please stay tuned because we are back right after this.
A beautiful, healthy smile is an expression of confidence. The more confident you are about your smile, the